Hey everybody, I'm here to break down Rattromba's latest track, Pit of Eternity. So I want to break down the three things in this track that I like the most, which is the vocals, the bass, the main bass, and the atmosphere. So let's go break down the main bass. The one I'm talking about is this one right here. So that's the sound. So it started out as this patch right here. And you can sort of hear the elements of it a little bit. So what I did was I took this patch. Let's take a second to look at this here. So it's a Vital patch. It's on Annoying OP with some filtering. Everything is just this one LFO shape right here. And it's pitched down super far. See what effects it has. Has some chorus on there, some multiband compression, a delay to give it some width, some distortion to raise the loudness. Got a phaser on here and an EQ, because without the EQ, there's like no high end at all. And that's what a lot of this sound is compression and distortion and things just to make all the quiet stuff, all the gurgliness, much louder. So what I did was I bounced it into audio. If you don't know this, you can freeze a track. So once you have this frozen, instead of just flattening it, which will combine everything into audio, what you can do is click the clip, control click, and then drag it, and it'll become the audio. You can see that right there. And so then what I did from there, time stretched it a lot and picked little spots from it. Like this is the time, it stretched out, and this is like a chunk of that stretch. And here you have it just really small and then played a bunch of times. Same with this one, you have it just stretched and, or you have it compressed, shrunk and played in a bunch of different pitches and stuff like that. For effects, I have like some EQ, some OTT. Looks like I had a bunch of OTT at once, but just a ton of compression, some more EQing to get some of the nasty stuff out there, a saturator to make it all a little louder, an auto filter to give it some of the like movement, frequency shifter, and another EQ to kind of tame the highs, more compression just to tame everything, another frequency shifter, which also, as you can see, I did a lot of frequency shifting to get a lot of those tones and sounds. And the utility for the build-up and things like that. And that's pretty much it. And then I have it playing, I think it's the same riff twice, but then in here in the second drop is just a different pattern. You can see I have the auto filter opening at different rates. And I have frequency shifter moving a lot. And then here's another rhythm. I think I went for triplets there. And that's it. That's pretty much the whole bass. It's just, and then the second one is just similar. I think it's literally the same copy thing, just some different EQ changes. Yeah, to add some more highs in there for this particular one, because the way I was using it, it just needed to be treated a little different. Then we'll go over the atmosphere. A lot of the way this track feels is because of this atmosphere. Some of the main parts are this eliminate, impact. And then throughout it plays pretty much every 4 bars. And then I believe in the drop, it's pitched down. This riser is fantastic. It's just one of Virtual Riser, but I use it in so much stuff. It's just a super solid riser. It's very good at adding tension. I have Virtual Riot Impact. I use the crap out of his stuff. I'm sure everyone does. So if you're watching this, you probably have it. But everything I'm adding is a lot of just like high end, weird unsettling impacts kind of add the fact that you're in this super uncomfortable situation where you're here with a bunch of cultists chanting. And then you have this impact. Panning left and right, again, a little percussion to add just unsettlingness as things go. That is also playing during the drops. So that's the atmosphere, pretty simple. Oh, I also have some drums, which really add to the chanting. As well as during the drop, there are a couple other sound effects playing. There is these weird background noises. That's pitching down the whole time. This is to make you feel like you're falling. So everything's kind of like going down. And this is just like a little high end to add that weird surrealness, kind of like this situation is very alien to Rat Trauma, so it's like, you know, very odd. As well as this just riser, also descending. I believe it's the exact same in the second drop. Yep. All right, and then we go up to some of the funnest stuff in this track, the vocals. So Rat Trauma's stuff is typical Rat Trauma vocal. It's just my voice pitched, I think this one is pitched 5 tones up, this one is pitched 6, and then they're blended together. And I have like some reverb on there that increases as he goes down the hallway, stuff like that, to set the room. I have some crowd noise that I fade out. I have a dungeon door here with a bunch of reverb on it. And footsteps. And that's how I do the stuff at the beginning. Super simple, but it really does set the atmosphere and the area that he's in, which is super important. So then next is the cultist chants. This is it just fading in as he comes down the hallway. Just me chanting, I say yada, you say yada, you know, yada yada yada, whatever. Nothing, they're actually not really saying anything. But it sounded like chant, and so I layered it. I pitched these all differently, and I panned them all over the place to sound like a bunch of different voices everywhere. And then they're all being put through the same processing. So you have some EQ, some utility controlling volume. You have a frequency shifter to make it feel unsettling. You have a chorus, which is doing a ton of work, which is very important to the vocals in this track. It's adding a lot more whip and weirdness to it, making them sound very demonic-y. And that with some reverb and auto filter for also fading in. And then we get down to the really fun one, the main cultist voice. So this vocal, a lot of it is, it's 2 things. It's the way I said it and the processing. So the way I said it was, I really tried to like talk deep and get a little grit in my voice. And then said these lines. And then I layered them and pitched one down 5 semitones. And then I also have a little breath segment leading into each one. It really helps the vocals like become part of the track, which is really important. I learned that to make this work well with vocals, make the vocals part of the track, not just like dropped in. Like I have fades in, the delays and everything on there help bridge gaps and make this feel like it's all cohesively musically together. And on the vocals, it's the chorus trick again, with delay to give it on ping pong, about 500 milliseconds, and then 517, so it's offset a little bit on either side. And then it's filtered, and then I can control the amount to taste for certain sections. I had a long tail reverb on there and then recorded it, and that's how I got this little tail that I put at the beginning of certain parts to lead into the vocal. And it just works really well with the drop, all these effects, because if you go play it all together, like from the build up. See how it kind of just leads into that, and it just becomes this whole thing. Same with the mid sequence. It just works as a transition as well. And then at the end, I just cut a lot of those effects out. I cut the delay out to make it just the vocals.
You need to leave. No, like, you need to leave. You've given us a lot to think about.
Because this is supposed to be like the punchline of the whole joke, is that, you know, go from this big serious thing to like you cut out all the rest of it so it feels separated from everything else, and you have just the dude like you should just go. And yeah, that is Pit of Eternity. If you have any other questions, please drop them down below. I will answer them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.